Good morning, Ash. How are you, mate?
Hey, good. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I just took my dog out for a walk, made some scrambled eggs for a late brekkie, and now I'm chatting to you. So we're off to a solid start today. How about
Lovely. This is a good way to begin.
yeah? What about yourself? What's going down in your world right now?
Not a whole lot. I've showered and I'm functional. I have a coffee. It's a very good start.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Better than most.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Well, let's get straight into it because obviously the elephant in the room is Eurovision. It's been a few weeks since you guys did Australia Decides. Y'all came so fucking close. How like have you come down from the high of being on that stage or settled from the devastation of losing out by 3 fucking points?
um, Look, there was no devastation, fortunately.
Good,
I
good.
was just stoked by the whole thing. And no, definitely have not come down from the high. And I don't know if I will for some time yet. Like that was the first time the Voyager have done a show to that kind of crowd in, years.
Yeah.
Um, that size anyway. So yeah, there's there's lots of adrenaline still coursing through my veins, and it was just nice to get back to that sort of thing after so long of not being able to do it.
Well, watching over the
Yeah.
actual performance for like the 8,000th fucking time earlier, it's incredible how you guys managed to pull off that 3 minutes of like the energy and the passion and the way it's an ultra tight performance, but it's still like lively and loose and fun in that sort of sense. How many times would you say you'll rehearsed that 1 3 minute gig?
Oh God. Yeah. But officially, like four.
Okay.
Unofficially, countless hundreds. Like so, we each got like all the acts got a couple of hours on stage, like right at the beginning on the Thursday before it all started, just to run through like the production and the lighting, work out where the cameras are going to be and that sort of thing. So like we maybe ran it. Yeah, I think we ran the song like four times in that rehearsal, and then we had to perform it three times in total. So there were two non-televised shows and then one televised show. And that was all the time we had on stage. But outside of that, we're like, sitting in the hotel room or we're trying to find spaces inside the entertainment center where we're like running through the choreography and like just not even like there wasn't any official choreography, but it was just so funny. Like, when you watch it back, the rehearsals, you realize that what you do on a stage looks so tiny compared to
Yeah.
how it looks on TV. So it's a completely different thing. And yeah, we ran through it and ad infinitum.
Well, you say like rehearsing that choreography. There are so many moments in the set where you're just like hammering it up to the camera, just like straight into it. Do you like practice that in front of the mirror? Like, okay, this is the camera, and I'm just gonna like give it that good look. And is that a thing?
Most of it's fairly spontaneous.
Okay.
There are a couple of moments, like towards the end of the song, there's one bit where like the camera people have to run through or behind Simone and Scott, so they sort of like needed to know when to run forward and stuff just to make sure they weren't going to collide with the cameraman.
Yeah.
And the little spins everyone gets to do in the music video, like SBS and Blink TV were pretty adamant they stay in the show, and yeah, we weren't going to give them up either. So those little spin slams were definitely choreographed as well. But apart from Danny, the rest of us just got to kind of feel our way through, which was really good. But you had to realize that whatever you would normally do, just double it.
Yeah.
And it will look like what you normally do. So yeah, Danny had the hardest job there.
Oh, of course. So what's going through your head during the actual performance? Can we get a play-by-play of like the experience?
Oh God. I am far and away the clumsiest member of the band. So the first thing was making sure I didn't trip.
Yeah.
Getting up onto the drum riser, just because that's definitely something that might happen. uh, the I don't know. I very rarely engage brain when I'm on stage. It just kind of comes out. So
Yeah.
like I was just I think the best thing for me was although like the drums were fairly muted and things like that because you have to work with like the TV mix and everything. It didn't feel like it. Like it still felt really loud and like pumping, and it just felt like I was playing a Voyager gig. By the end of it, the main thing that was going on in my head was like, okay, that's the opening song. So now we've got another 50 minutes of a set to do. I'm like, oh, okay, great. What am I going to do with all of this adrenaline now?
Right? You're like,
Yeah.
because I feel like usually by the end of a set you'd be pretty spent, but like you get in that zone in the first couple of songs, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You think about like, if you go to like any kind of show, and particularly a metal show, there's a couple of ways you can run it. You can either come out all guns blazing, you know, like amp everyone up and then kind of dip a bit and then build it up again. Like you've got almost like a story to tell with your set list.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Eurovision, you've got 3 minutes. So you have to make sure you're like completely warmed up and just, you know, at 100% as soon as you're on stage.
Yeah. Condensing
like anything,
an hour worth of energy into 3 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like anything, if you only do something for 3 minutes and you had a really, really good time, you don't want to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You've just got all of this, buzz that you've got, you know, you have to find somewhere to put it.
So did that buzz help when, like, you say there was no devastation when the loss came, but like, what was it kind of just like, all right, on to the next thing, or was there sort of like that's a bit of a bummer?
I mean, I guess, you know, once all is said and done and you kind of reflect, you go, you know, 3 points, damn it, you know, that would have been really cool. But at the time, it's just on such a high. You know, I feel like we performed really well. The crowd feedback was intense. Like it was crazy in the stadium. Just people were up out of their seats and they weren't supposed to be out of their seats because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like from, you know, while the video package was running like on TV, we were sort of on stage waiting to start, and everyone was just cheering the whole time, and you know, you could interact with the crowd a little bit. So yeah, you know, you're still running on that buzz, and then, you know, you find out that you've got the public vote, you know, the highest public vote for the whole night, which is insane. You know, that was not something I even entertained, you know, being this little metal band out of Perth. You just on a Eurovision kind of thing, which is, you know, a bit poppier and a bit more sort of singer-songwriting. You know, you can't be unhappy with that result.
Yeah, like I was going to say, like, I got to be honest, because something like Eurovision, a country like Australia, we are so pop forward in our culture, and you know, when it comes to things, even though Dream is a very poppy, very catchy song, a heavier band thrashing away, 2 guitars, I was actually kind of surprised you all came as close as you did.
Yeah, it's still stoked. Like even now, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Just the amount of support, and just I guess the amount of times like people shared it, and you know, the number of people who told me, like, you know, they went into work or they went to a family dinner and forced everyone to get out their phones and vote 10 times, you know, like just feeling that level of support, you know, not even from people, you know, who are already, you know, fans of the band, but just people like, oh hell yeah, a metal band from WA, yeah, we should send that to Eurovision. I'm gonna vote 10 times for that. It was incredible.
Do you think it speaks to the strength of community that we have in the Australian heavy music scene that you did receive as much public support as you did?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, you know, you've always known it's a really awesome community that we have, you know, and it's internationally recognized that we have a really good heavy scene here, and it's, you know, produces some of the best music you're going to hear in the world. I think, you know, going into it, when we first found out we were announced, I kind of expected a little bit of blowback because, you know, it is a poppy, bit of a mainstream thing, and Eurovision's got a bit of, you know, naffness to it that, you know, they and we definitely revel in. It's awesome. I kind of expected more people to be like, what are they doing? Like, this is really terrible for a metal band to do it. But there was really none of that to speak of. You know, everyone was 100% behind it, and they kind of got, I think, what we were trying to do with it.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool to see. Yeah, it's cool to see that Eurovision is like more, you know, ready to accept that sort of stuff as well. Like I know we had Lordi in 2006, and they always have the odd token band, but they're really leaning into that now and realizing it's a song competition. It's not a pop competition.
Yeah.
You know,
and
a lot of bands write really, really good songs.
Yeah. Last year's winner was Mainskin. They're not, well, they're a pop band, but they've got a couple of a bit of a shred to them.
They've got a good edge to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys
got swagger?
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. The swagger. Are you going to give it another shot next year?
We're still talking about that. Not sure.
Well, it's got to be one of those like third time's the charm situations, right? Because you were shortlisted for Australia Decides 2020, but didn't make it to the actual stage. That's one. And then this year you played Australia Decides, came in second place. That's two. By that logic, like the trajectory that you're on, you're guaranteed to win it next year.
Oh, we both know there are no guarantees, right? You know what? Like the process was awesome fun. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. You know, just getting to perform on that stage and like getting the you know, just the lighting and the production value that we had for that song is, what I always felt Voyager music deserves, in its head, in my head. So I definitely do it again. But then it's like, oh, yeah, I'd love to do it again. But what if you do it again and then you do worse? Do you know what I mean? Does that tarnish the legacy?
Well, maybe I don't know, the resilience. It'd be cool to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Just do it, like, do it until you win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like the year that we were shortlisted, we didn't get in. Danny and I still went, and we were there for the final. So we were up in the nosebleeds watching the show. This time we were on the stage. I don't think it's outside the bounds of possibility that even if we're not in the competition, I'll be going there to watch it again. It's such a good time.
Oh, for sure.
We'll always be involved somehow.
Yeah. That's I love that energy, that spirit of it.
Hell yeah.
Have you noticed much of an uptick in your fan base since the gig, or seeing that you brought on many new followers?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it across the socials, just the numbers tick up and just the engagement as well. People, sending photos of like their little watch parties that they had. Lot of photos with that wonderful beer that we did with Bright Tank as well. That was really cool to see.
In the sky.
Yeah. And I even just online the other day, we saw someone had a Dreamer themed birthday party.
Oh, that's sick.
Which was so cool. Like playing the song, dancing along to it, air guitaring, like Dreamer themed cupcakes. It was so cool.
Did you get an invite?
It was in the States.
Right. Okay.
So I'm sure, I could have weaseled my way in somehow. It would have been a 50-hour round trip.
For a birthday party.
Would have missed the party.
So obviously, people will be able to see Dreamer live next month. You're playing Badlands on April 29th. This will be your first proper gig in almost 8 months. Are you like, how much are you just dying to get back out there on a stage in front of a crowd full of Voyager fans?
I'm always raring to go after any show. Like it's the best. It's one of the best things about being in a band, is especially a band like Voyager, is playing those shows. Like it's the most fun you can have. You couple that with the fact that, like you say, it's been 8 months since the last proper live gig, and before that it was like a year and a bit. So yeah, I definitely haven't been getting my fix. So we're just so ready to just feel that energy, bring it to the crowd, get them to give it back. It's I can't even put it into words, Matt.
Yeah, of course. Well, we know Dreamer's going to be in the set list. Hopefully a good mix of material from the 7 albums you've put out so far. Any new shit?
Oh, mate, I'm trying to get some confirmation on what our set list is going to be now, but we are working on the next single. That's about all I can say on that subject. But we've been recording our new album, since November last year. And that's, all the songs are written. They're mostly recorded. We're just sort of putting some extra bits and pieces on and getting it all sorted out. But obviously Dreamer's done really well. It's going through its cycle, and we've got to follow it up with something. So
So is Dreamer going to be on the album?
Yes.
Yeah.
At this stage, it will be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like you have to, right? Like
it deserves a physical release at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was written for the album. We kind of tweaked it a little bit to make it Eurovision ready, but it was always going to be on there, which is cool.
So having tweaked it for Eurovision, is the version that's going to be on the album, is that the Eurovision version, or is there like a different...
Yeah, it will be. We spent so much time crafting it to work in 3 minutes that's how the song exists for me now.
Okay.
It could, its original version could have been, I think it was like a 4.5 minute track or something like that, but now I hear it as the version it is. Like it works that way.
Yeah.
That's the best form that song can take, I reckon.
Sure. I mean, it's not like you cut down like an 8-minute song for it. It works.
No, it was hard enough trying to shave 30 seconds off a tune, man.
Yeah, of course.
It's such a difficult process to make a song interesting and tell a story in that short amount of time, especially for a prog band.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, I won't push you for release date shit or things like that, or a title, but if you want to give it to us, go ahead. But how, like, stylistically, where do you see Voyager heading from here after Colors in the Sun?
Oh, I was going to say, you can definitely ask me those questions, but I don't know the answer to either of them. We're still talking about title and release date at this point. Stylistically, oh geez, it's definitely not Colors in the Sun too. It takes a lot of the parts we really liked about Colors in the Sun. It's diverse, and there are some, like, I feel like Colors in the Sun kind of did go in some lighter directions in some parts, and in some songs it got fairly dark, and it's kind of like we took both of those trains and just ran with them. So like on the album, there's just some of the most crushing parts we've ever written, next to like some of the poppiest tracks we've ever written.
Yeah.
So when we were writing all the songs, we were originally talking about the idea of maybe doing like a dark and a light EP, because there was such a split in tone. But we're kind of getting back into the idea of, now we can tell a really interesting story with just contrasts that are on this one. So yeah, like, typical stuff you can expect from Voyager, some, fairly pop inspired song structures, and some really heavy riffs and catchy choruses, but yeah, just dial it up a notch.
Yeah, okay, sure. Put it, album 8, dial it up to level 8.
Why not, man?
Yeah.
Like I've been living in dialed up to 11 because that's what Eurovision's all about. So I'm just going to take that and run with it.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Skip the next 4. Do it.
Yeah.
just before I wrap up, I have to ask, because I know we almost got the Runaway tour last year, but for obvious reasons that didn't go ahead. Y'all haven't played anywhere outside WA since Good Things 2019, and even longer, that July, since you had your own shows. When can we expect to see you hit the East Coast?
Whoa, mate. We're still trying to figure that out. In an ideal world, we would have liked to have had a run lined up for after Eurovision. But we only found out like a week before we went to Eurovision that we could even go in the first place.
Okay.
WA is wonderful, very, very strict rules about returning home.
Yes.
So it was very much up in the air. And, once we had that confirmation that we would actually be able to come back, well, every band worth their salt in Australia and abroad has already booked all of the venues and everything. So it's been a little bit tricky to piece a run together. But we're working on it at the moment. Actually, we're sort of sorting out some dates and trying to figure it out. So we will definitely be doing some touring this year.
I'll take it.
We're still figuring out what form that's going to take.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it is sooner than later. I might let you run, but
Yeah,
thank you so much for taking time to have a chat. It's been such an honor.
Thank you. It's been awesome. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Have a good one. Take care.
I will.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, mate. Cheers.
See ya.